The Supreme Court of Canada rules on HIV disclosure.
A sexual assault has been reported on a popular Humber bus route, and Anderson Cooper fires back at Star Jones. Humber News starts now.
Hello, it's October 5th. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm William Key. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Tashay Houghton. Ahead on our show, we have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, William has our top story.
Toronto police are searching for a suspect in connection with a sexual assault on a TTC bus. The alleged assault happened on a route that includes Humber College. An alert was issued this morning. Police say a 19-year-old woman riding on the 191 bus Wednesday afternoon was sexually assaulted while on her way from Humber College Boulevard to Kipling Subway Station. This is the second case of sexual assault on a TTC bus this week. The suspect is described as a brown man in his late teens or early 20s, wearing dark jeans and a red sweater. Anyone with information is asked to call the 22 Division of Toronto Police.
The Supreme Court of Canada has ruled low-level HIV carriers must disclose their condition to sexual partners unless they use a condom. Jeanette Liu has the details on this landmark decision.
You can open just across.
Safe sex was a topic of discussion in Ottawa today. The Supreme Court of Canada ruled low-level HIV carriers must release information about their condition to their sex partners or face a charge of aggravated sexual assault. Humber's Health Center says the court's decision is a breach on personal privacy and could negatively affect carriers of the HIV virus.
And I think it's very important that we try not to raise more stigma against people with HIV and AIDS, instead to help protect them.
The court's rule comes with a condition, though. Low-level HIV carriers don't need to disclose their circumstance as long as they wear a condom. Humber students say practicing safe sex is always important and should never be overlooked.
If I'm going to have sex with somebody, I make sure that I'm in a committed relationship and that I always make sure that they're clean, and I always get tested regularly.
You can't be too safe, you know?
Safe sex is very important to me because, one, it prevents STIs and all that and prevents pregnancy.
Critics of the court's rule say people with a low level of HIV who take antiretroviral medication and wear a condom have almost no chance of passing the virus on. They also say HIV carriers are safe to be around.
It's safe to be with people with HIV and AIDS. It's safe to touch them, work with them.
Humber's Health Center says practicing safe sex is important, so before the pants come off, strap one on. Jeanette Liu, Humber News.
Liberal leader hopeful Justin Trudeau took his campaign to Mississauga last night. He is calling on youth to get involved in their communities and their country.
Because I think we need our young people to come back in and get engaged. I know that we can inspire a group of young Canadians to start to have faith in public life, in public service. I wanted to convince them that citizenship is not a spectator sport.
Trudeau says the Liberal Party has a lot of work ahead of them, but he believes Canadians will give them a chance because the party will earn it. Trudeau said not only do Canadians want something better, they deserve something better. The rally was light on politics. Trudeau did not mention which policies he plans on supporting and briefly touched on environmental issues and immigration.
New Brunswick MP Dominic LeBlanc, Justine Trudeau's childhood friend, endorsed Trudeau as leader at an event at noon today in Dieppe, New Brunswick. Dominic's father, former Governor General Romeo LeBlanc, served as cabinet minister for the late Pierre Trudeau. LeBlanc had talked to himself about possibly running for the Liberal leadership, but didn't put a campaign team together.
Canada's social landscape is experiencing drastic changes, and stress from uncertainty is putting Canadian youth at risk. That's according to a report from the Community Foundations of Canada. It says this generation of 18 to 34-year-olds are better educated than ever, but the gap between those who thrive and those who struggle is immense. The report says graduating students carrying debt loads averaging between $20,000 and $30,000. Student employment was at its lowest this summer, with an unemployment rate of 14.8%. 3.2 million 12 to 19-year-olds are said to be at risk for developing depression, and the rate of students reporting psychological distress is at an all-time high of 43%. Employment prospects are delayed as baby boomers continue to put off their retirement.
The Ontario Provincial Police want safe roads this Thanksgiving weekend. They are enforcing a safety blitz with an increased police presence to monitor major roads and highways. Operation Impact will be looking at 4 major factors that lead to road fatalities: impaired driving, not wearing seatbelts, aggressive driving, and distracted driving. The long weekends usually have an increase in collisions across the province. The campaign begins today and goes through to Monday.
Whether it's straw, wood, or brick, U of T student Alex is looking for a home for her and her little pig. The 21-year-old, who won't reveal her last name, has been advertising on Craigslist. She is seeking a landlord who will accept her and her miniature pig Otis. Although Alex says Otis is litter-trained and smart, Toronto's municipal code forbids the ownership of pigs of any kind. Owners can face fines of up to $5,000 with the possibility of court action. Alex says the bylaw is unfair and hopes she doesn't get caught by a bylaw officer.
When we come back, we'll have more news from across the country and around the world. Elton Hobson will have the sports news, and we'll have your weather forecast with Sarah Ricks.
We're supposed to see rain today, but what does the Thanksgiving weekend have in store? The 5-day weather forecast is up next.